everyone. Welcome back to Third Street Reactions. I'm James.
I'm Shane.
I'm Zach.
We're back with Jupiter's Legacy, episode 4 of season 1.
Yeah, yes sir.
What happened, guys, in episode 3?
All right, so a lot of stuff. We introduced to a cool new hero, but villain, or at least anti-hero, Hutch.
Yeah, I mean, I can't figure out what he is so far, but yeah.
Yeah, he's got his little staff, his little device that teleports him, and also teleports places he tells it to teleport.
Yeah, it's a common misconception.
Yeah.
That he does not have to actually touch the thing in order to get it to obey him.
Yeah.
It'll teleport without him actually making contact with it.
That was one of the coolest little, I don't even call it power, I don't know what you call it. Coolest little tricks I've seen in a long time.
Shark-infested waters.
Yeah, it's a cool little thing, man. I mean, I like, if I was able to have a super human power of some kind, superhero power of some kind, or that little staff, I could just instantly explode people's hearts. That's a pretty...
Yeah, what do you use that for?
Huh?
To kill people, man.
You just never know.
He's holding it. What was that, Shane?
Shane's
ass.
You never know.
It's all...
I mean, I'd rather much rather have like invisibility ability where you could just like see through things and stuff. That'd be cool. But
what do you use that for, dude?
It ain't the invisible cunt.
Yeah. What's that from again?
The boys.
Oh, the boys. Yeah. Ain't the invisible cunt.
It means semi-transparent.
Yeah.
oh my gosh, yeah. That's crazy.
I guess I just would want to fly.
You'd want to fly.
What's better than fly?
You can do that in an airplane, helicopter.
I'd want fucking Bruce Willis's power and unbreakable. I just want to be unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
That or Wolverine.
Yeah. I mean, I think Wolverine would be better. As long as you have to go through what he went through.
He went through some shit.
He went through some shit, yeah.
If I couldn't have Wolverines, the next best would probably be Bruce Willis. I don't want to be overly powerful, and everybody's fucking happy. Everyone's expecting everything.
True.
You just want
True.
that, and you want to just go... Just do
Roll
your
those
thing.
dice.
Just go to work and hunt and just invincible.
Exactly.
Honestly, what I would want is I would want to be able to read people's minds. Maybe be a blessing and a curse, but...
You'd be a good negotiator.
Yeah.
And also, the episode pretty much focused a lot on Sky Fox, Matt Lanter's character from Zach and I are currently reacting to Star Wars: The Clone Wars, so make sure you guys check that out as well. Yeah, and he lost his wealth. His butler was with him at the end.
Yep.
To the very end.
To the very end, yeah.
It's a good butler.
Good butler.
And he also...
He fucked up.
No, what happened was they finally got Sheldon to kind of stabilize.
Yeah.
And then, but when George was there talking to him, when he saw him at first in his mental state, he took a lot of the scribbles and the drawings that Sheldon had on his desk. Mm-hmm. He took them home with him and he tried to make some sense of them, put them together and made a windmill.
Yeah.
So he took them back to Sheldon and say, hey, look, it's just a windmill. It must be something from your childhood. You're not crazy. He tried to tell him that, but what it did was it sparked that shit again with Sheldon.
Yeah.
Got him thinking about it again. He got him seeing his dad again. Mm-hmm. And it set him off. And then he fucking lost his shit. And then the brother and the fiance were both pissed at him. And he was feeling pretty down with himself. And then he lost all of his money. And he lost all of his staff. And he lost all of his furniture. And he lost all of his eggs. And he lost it all. And was sitting in this fucking... just a black and white... almost setting this. What's the fucking photo setting you can do?
Sepia?
Like a sepia almost.
Yeah.
Mood in there.
Dude, what is
There's nothing left, and I'm talking James, so don't interrupt me.
I gotta say this though. What an amazing butler. On the last day, he took the average of every egg that he had liked before, and he just made the average egg. I thought that was pretty.
No,
cool.
I thought that butler is. Dude,
he's
the unsung hero.
Yes.
We need a spin-off of that, just that butler.
Butlers are just great characters because Zemo's butler and Falcon and the Winter Soldier was great, and he was only in it just a tad bit.
Yeah, you're right.
Alfred.
He's always great.
Alfred's always great.
Always great, yeah.
Yep.
Fucking the guy from Downton Abbey. I can't remember his name. Mr. Karsten.
I used to think it was Downtown Abbey.
Yeah, it's like those guys that say Royal King when they talk about Rural King.
Oh.
You ever go to the Royal King?
Yeah.
The Royal King.
Is it rural or royal? Yep, you're right. It's
Rural.
rural. Yeah.
Rural King.
Rural.
Rural King.
Rural.
I'm fucking saying rural.
He's like saying whirl. That's it.
She's raving.
Fucking
raves. It's not your speed, is it, Zach?
At least they don't have glow sticks.
Nothing's my speed anymore.
You gotta come up and say hi. No, it's okay. Come on.
And she is drunk off her ass.
Alcohol. Well,
I'll be right there.
shit pop.
Knocked out. Not getting mine knocked out like a complete fool.
That's kind of funny though.
Say that like
I was that guy. I get the hell out of there. When you?
Oh, he has powers.
you got power.
Thought you knew. I'm Nick, you know? Nick of time.
That's so bad.
Working on that neck.
Ain't nothing good ever come out of the dirt.
Maybe it's all in your head.
What
Maybe
the?
you really are crazy, little boss.
I don't mean to speak out of turn, but maybe you gotta go back to him. Folks like it.
What if she left him?
Oh, I thought it was fucking crazy.
Yeah. But who is this guy though? I feel like
He's a ride in the nick of time thing.
Jeez
Right.
Louise.
Fighting to get out of them clothes.
Yeah, breaking the wall down, but I'm trying to get the clothes off.
you just want to rip him.
You can just slow down time. Take his clothes off.
Yeah. But it would still look like you're in a rush.
What I needed for the application, I'm applying to the Union of Justice.
Oh.
You're what?
I'm applying to the Union. I'm actually. Look, you being who you are and all,
Yeah, just say it.
Wow.
I was hoping maybe you could put in a word for me.
That'd make you feel
Who
real
is my
good about
dad?
it.
Why bring it up now, dude?
What?
Can you take a punch?
Hell yeah. I got hit by this truck once. I'm telling you.
Hell yeah, Chloe.
He had it coming.
Yeah, he definitely did. He's a fucking moron.
I need a telephone.
It's a lot of money back then.
Under the counter beside the cash.
Speaking of time like that, you think that,
Maybe he just knew he was honest.
how do you know? He fucking give you $1 to steal 100. Hey, we get change out of
Well,
it. Thief.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm saying maybe he's being intuitive. He thinks he is. I'm sure if you did that a bunch of times, you're gonna be wrong eventually.
Sheldon?
Seems like he walked out on her.
You said you're fucking crazy. He just left.
Yeah.
Where's one?
Tell her you're sorry and you want to come home.
Oh.
Because I'm not from around here.
Then why are you drawing the windmill at the old Miller farm?
I killed your baby today. Doesn't matter much to me. It's there. Misfits.
You know, if you can't be a real superhero, the least you can do is pretend for 5 minutes. It'll help you earn enough to shove up your nose.
I mean, it's a thing. Like, if she's not gonna do that, she's gotta. Whatever she does, she should do her job, right?
Exactly.
But she'll destroy the car.
See? Was that so bad?
Shredder's music.
You are my eyes and ears. Find them.
That's pretty good, Zach.
Been waiting for you. Let's get to it.
It looks like Red Foreman.
Like, it looks like Ron Howard's brother.
Oh, okay. We're getting to fill in.
Okay.
What shit happened after that? Well, Hutch.
I know you.
I know.
Bag of meth. Some blue candy.
That's the shit that he was trying to steal, right?
Yeah.
So now she's gonna go home and snort it. It's gonna fuck her up.
He wasn't stealing it. He was going to deliver it to somebody. It was like his last thing he had to do.
He was stealing it from somebody to deliver it to somebody else.
Yeah. The redhead guy. It's not Gary Sinise.
I know it's not. I'm just saying.
Some Heisenberg shit.
I just want to talk. What the last son of a bitch that Bank sent out here said. Bank, play that with me, sir.
It's Red Foreman.
Do I strike you?
It's got to be Red Foreman.
Who's that?
From that 70s show.
You think you're the only one?
You know he's 50 years old, that guy.
He's a handsome son of a bitch.
Red.
If I go bald, that's what I'm going to look like.
You're not going to go bald.
That's what I look like, though, if I do. I have a Red Foreman head.
You should do it for Halloween. Just shave right there.
Just look like him.
Yeah.
What do they... Goddamn thing.
Look at that look on his face.
I love his performance.
It reminds me of Robert Shaw.
Out where the sea comes alive. Ain't you men listening?
I love this old guy. He knows.
It'd be funny if he talked to him, too.
Was it somebody close?
Yep.
Don't listen anymore. They'll lie to you. Wait.
Jesus.
He killed himself.
To prove a point. No, he said you do.
Yep, go in.
He just saw that shit like twice in a month.
Damn.
I guess they're not conjuring it, she's repairing it.
See? All better. Now, get on you.
What, his age and his balding? Reverse?
An inverse penis.
Hilarious. Very funny. Very funny.
Thought that was normal.
Just keep it.
Because I'm an asshole. That's what all of you really think, right?
She didn't say that. The blonde bitch did. She was actually annoyingly nice the whole time. Trying to do the right thing.
Hopefully she had insurance.
That's the guy. Hutch.
Yeah. I think they're gonna have a thing.
Came back looking for his shit.
Yeah. He'll save her.
Guys, that was our reaction, and now we're going to break it down.
Didn't love it. It was okay.
I mean, no, I like this show, but for me, the most compelling part is the past. How they got their powers,
Yeah,
the journey
me too.
that he's going on. I love that old guy.
Well, Red Foreman. He definitely, I think they were trying to go for the Robert Shaw as Quint in Jaws.
Okay, yeah.
They definitely reminded me of that whole segment in Jaws. Have you seen Jaws, James?
Yeah, in the 80s.
I mean, it's the same
You've
thing.
seen it, right?
Like, a long time
In the
ago
80s.
at your grandma's.
You people are fucking nuts. Anyway, it's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Right up there with Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because it made me also afraid of the ocean when I was young.
Yeah.
But, no, Robert Shaw portrays Quint, who is a shark hunter. And he has there's a sequence in that movie, or part of the film, when they're on the ocean, they're out hunting the shark, and they're all getting drunk together on the boat. Mm-hmm. They're telling old war stories, and they're talking about their tattoos.
Yeah.
And he had one on his arm that was removed. And that's when he gets into the whole USS Indianapolis.
Yeah.
When they delivered the bomb. And, which I don't know if you guys remember that or not. Do you remember any of the movie at all? Do you remember anything about it?
I remember sharks eating people.
Well, he was the old guy that ran the boat at the end. He was the captain of the boat. And he ends up getting eaten. Like the shark manages to land on the stern of the boat. And it's sinking. And he slides down into its mouth. And it bites him.
Damn.
I feel like in my head I know what it looks like, but I might have seen it.
He's really cool. He was an alcoholic in real life, but they drew a lot of inspiration for his character off one of the local fishermen from where they shot.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
So, and the guy that was the fisherman that he took inspiration from was actually in the movie too as a character.
Oh.
Okay.
So it was really cool. But
That is
that
neat.
whole sequence where he's talking about, it's a shark's eyes. They're like a doll's eyes.
Yeah.
Lifeless and everything. And it was really cool. Really reminded me of this.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say. I wanted to take that from you. I'm gonna let you have it.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't take it because I don't have that movie to reference.
I know.
No, I really enjoyed that part. That performance from that guy was, for me, the strongest part of the episode.
Red Foreman, that 70s show. I don't remember the actor's name, but I believe he was also in some of the Rambo movies.
I've only seen the first one, oddly enough.
Obviously, he might have been in the... What am I thinking of? He might be in like the third one?
Okay.
Rambo 3 when he's in Russia.
Yeah.
Or no, they're in Afghanistan, sorry.
Okay.
When the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan.
Yeah. And I would say that's like, I don't know, maybe it's just how I grew up, and maybe you're slightly similar. I always enjoy when you have like this kind of old, decrepit man, like give some kind of performance where he's talking about this daunting thing. Or this, his life that he wasted, or his mistakes, or, something scary from his past. It's always, it can lead to some really enjoyable watch time on my part.
I just don't understand why he committed suicide at the end there.
He was going fucking crazy. He was sitting there in his old farmhouse with his ringing in his head and drawing circles on the fucking walls.
Okay, so the people downstairs, you point out something. Oh, those are the people that came before him?
Kind of reminded me, though, of Clancy Brown in Lost. When he finally he loses his shit over pushing that button for so many years, he finally just kills himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And leaves it to Desmond.
Yep.
To take up the mantle of pushing the button.
Yeah.
I just don't know how it goes from crazy to...
No, because I never
mythical.
thought it was crazy. I thought, at least I'm speaking from my own, like I think he was being called to do something. I never thought it was crazy. I thought whatever those superpowers are, like they were calling him... They're beckoning like some chosen people to come and receive them. And I guess there were others before who didn't live up to the task. Including maybe that guy who shot himself.
Where I get the crazy from is like seeing his deceased dad all bloodied up and beat up like that. I mean, to me that's crazy.
Yeah, but like, okay, so...
He's obviously not perfect. He's not crazy because the other guy had the same exact experience.
Yeah, he said it's always someone you know.
Right. It's always someone you know.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand why, like, if it's this beautiful vision of how he's going to save America, why it's got to be this deceased, broken neck, broken face.
Well, I think that was
vision.
to get him started. That was to, like, he's using... So, they're using the dad because the dad was his influential figure in his life. And they're using these familiar themes like save America, save your family.
But then the old man also said that it'll lie to you.
That's what I don't understand either. Is why is, like, if they're using that his dad, then why is he telling him to go home? Reverse psychology? Because they know that he'll want to go anyway. I don't know.
For me, I think it's doing whatever it can to get him there.
Yeah, I mean, this episode was okay, but I was expecting more Tomb Raider. What's it called? Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like that type of action. Like not
what's
like
building up to that.
Kind of slow pace.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I really appreciated. I mean, I like the Red Foreman's actor. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name right now, and I'm not going to look it up. But and I like the at least what I'm getting the Jaws vibe in Quint.
It's always
I loved Robert Shaw in that movie in that role.
Yeah.
And the it is a slow journey, which if you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, which I know you haven't.
Nope.
There's a slow journey in it.
Yeah.
There's a little more going on in it than Dust Bowl towns and the Great Depression and bread lines.
Bread lines,
but
man. That stuff always kind of captivates me when I see that because we didn't live through something like that. And just kind of crazy.
No, we've had it very well. A lot of people in this country think we don't have it very good right now. But compared to how this country has had in the past.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because there's Civil War times. I mean, especially if you lived in the South anywhere. I mean, you had fucking armies marching through your backyard and people getting killed and blown up and yellow fever everywhere.
Yeah.
And before that, you had redcoats and the French and the Native Americans and everybody's out killing one another, plus the wild animals. Smallpox and everything else.
Yeah.
And then you take it forward a few years, then you've got the Great Depression and the Dust Bowl, and then you've got the World Wars.
Yeah.
Spanish flu.
Yeah, well, the
flu's in there.
Spanish flu was 1918 at first, and there's multiple outbreaks of it. But
Yeah, it's just there was a shit time to live back then.
Yeah.
it really is.
People think they have it bad right now. It's like you're just looking at what you could have.
And then they use
You,
the
you
whole...
want 2 jet skis, and I have no jet skis, and I'm very upset about it.
I got to ride a jet ski yesterday for the first time in like 10 years.
Well, I don't want a jet ski, and I don't want to ride a jet ski,
Yeah.
so I don't really give a fuck if you have one. So
Yeah.
the people that do care that somebody has a jet ski, well, find something else to be pissed about.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
So it just... Like, for instance, I know you guys haven't seen it, but Mad Men... one of the characters, it takes place in the 1960s, but there's there's flashbacks to when these characters were younger, at least one of them, and a lot of it's during the Great Depression. And there's this one really cool episode. It's called the Hobo Code. I looked this up; it's a real
You
thing.
already showed me this.
Oh, I did.
I remember.
Oh, okay.
I was probably drunk when you showed me, but I still remember.
Oh, okay. And so just the idea that during this time, during the Great Depression, when young or middle-aged men would just start walking with a knapsack, and they would just go find work, and they spoke to each other with codes. It's just kind of really cool to think about.
Does remind me though. Did you ever heard of the show Longmire?
Yeah, I have heard of it.
I have heard
I've
of
never
it.
watched it.
I've never
Yeah.
watched it.
Is
It
that
was
guy
a
from
decent
Armageddon
show.
in it?
What guy?
Chick?
No. Damn. The guy that's in it, the lead character, he actually was one of the other agents in The Matrix. It wasn't Agent Smith, Hugo Weaving. It was one of the other two, the larger one.
Okay. He doesn't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He's the tall guy.
Yeah,
He's actually an Australian actor.
Okay.
Just like Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
But, no. In that show, there was an episode where there was a rich man who had gone missing. At the end of the episode, you find out that he was this guy that's kind of just a drifter.
Yeah.
Because he just didn't want that life. He saw how the rich and the wealthy life consumed people he knew and his family, and how they were always worried about it.
Yeah.
And he was just talking about, I just didn't want it.
Yeah.
And he's just wandering around the U.S. And he tells Longmire, who has this cabin, a scenic view with the mountains, like, hey, you got a nice view. He just leaves.
Yeah.
He said, fuck it all.
Yeah.
He didn't want all the money and the power and the wealth. And
Well, I certainly...
it's not for everybody.
Oh, of course, especially if you're, people who are doing the rat race, to do it.
For me, it's a matter of the means, not so much as the possessions.
Yeah, the means. I agree. Like I've always told you this. Like money for me was always a means to get other things that I wanted. You know?
For me, if I didn't have a family, like kids, like I could totally do that. I could just go off the grid, just scrape by, live in a cabin out in the middle of the desert or woods, and I'd be happy.
Yeah.
But when you have kids, it's even when they grow up. Yeah, I mean, you want to see your kids, you want to see their families, you want to see them do well.
Well, for me, I know because I have my daughters, my job, first and foremost, is to be there as a father figure for those daughters.
Yeah,
exactly.
My daughters. And that goes without question.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And everything else, in the end, no matter how personal or whatever, it's got to take the back seat to that.
Yep.
But you learn to make it work. It's not black and white.
Yeah.
It's all just part of your life.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
It's weird that you said that. You talk about that guy. I think I told you about this. It's a movie with who's that kid from The Girl Next Door? Emil Hirsch. I mean, he's in that Hollywood.
It's the one where he leaves, right, and sells all his possessions.
Yeah, based on a true story. He goes out.
Dies in the fucking wilderness or whatever.
Yeah, he goes to Alaska. He's from this rich upper class family, not super rich. But
Into the Wild?
Is it called Into the Wild?
I think it is.
Well, doesn't he buy an RV or something shit
I
like
think
that?
it's
No, he finds an abandoned RV and dies in it.
I think it might be called Into the Wild.
Yeah,
but I'm not
Emil
100%
Hirsch
sure.
is his name, but there's what's up? This guy plays in The Village as the old patriarch.
John Hurt.
Basically,
John Hurt. Yeah, John Hurt.
William Hurt.
William Hurt.
Yeah.
And he's good. He's in it. He gives one of his best roles.
William Hurt's the American. John Hurt's the Brit.
Yeah.
John Hurt's the little guy.
Yeah.
I always got to make that distinguishing word.
Well, yeah, William Hurt, he gives the best performance I've ever seen in this movie.
He did a really good job.
Basically-
They did an adaptation of Moby Dick that he was Ahab in.
Really?
He did a really good job, but it just wasn't the best adaptation of Moby Dick. So.
Okay.
Basically, didn't that guy go out in the woods and he basically starved to death just over time?
Well, yeah, because he just gave up. He had his check. He just graduated college.
Yeah.
He ripped up his check. He sold his car and just took that money and just traveled and started walking and hitchhiking up north until he got to Alaska.
Yeah.
And he just learned. He taught himself how to hunt, find food. Well, he ate the wrong berries, and he basically. I don't know what he did.
Didn't they paralyze him?
Yeah, basically paralyzed him, and he couldn't move. And then he starved to death. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
And
I
they
heard.
found him like a few days after. So what happened was
really close to...
Yeah, he was stuck to a point at a river where he couldn't cross. So he camped out in this RV that he found. And there was basically like a cross. There's like a bridge like a mile up that he didn't see.
Okay.
And they found him. Yeah,
People still visit that RV, I think, to this day.
they give him tribute. Yeah,
I know
it's a romantic story, but it's for all these survivalists who know about the story. They just say like it's not a story to romanticize. He came out unprepared.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. There's a book I have downstairs. It's like How to Survive in the Wilderness. Or something like that. I just read it as some casual reading, but they talk about that, how there's been all kinds of people that have died with food resources all around them and they just didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
So and that's the thing, is you imagine we often take a monomaniacal view of our lives. We're just self-centered, and we look at ourselves and we look at everything that's going on around us and we dramatize it.
Yeah.
And everything that's happening, but really what it is you were fucking stupid. You were ignorant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not stupid, but you were ignorant of what was around you and what you could take.
Yeah.
And what you could survive on. And that's just, it's funny how life works that way, because we add so much
You
to
can
it.
eat fucking dandelions.
Yeah, and we add so much to it to give it this sense of poetry, but in the end, you were just a guy that didn't know that you could eat the seeds that were a foot from you.
Yeah.
And survive. So.
Well, people have this real romantic view of going out there and knowing that, and this Ernie Bob Hemingway type, you're reading his stuff, how he got in nature and do that stuff, and they want to do it, but he knew what he was doing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just the thing.
And he's a good writer.
And Jack London, even.
London, yeah.
He was a guy that actually went up on the Yukon and the Klondike, or I don't know, fucking.
Yeah.
You know.
And like Bear Grylls, like at the time he was the youngest person in the world to climb Everest. And people talk about doing what he did, and he broke his back and did all this stuff. They said he might not walk, and climbing Everest and doing all this crazy stuff to get into the position that he was in. He was basically in the England's version of the Navy SEALs. He's a brilliant guy.
Did you see the episode where he took Shaquille O'Neal with him?
Well, okay, so so I haven't seen that one, but have you seen it? He does like a series where he takes celebrities out in the wild. They don't do the crazy stuff, but they do some crazy stuff. I didn't see the Shaquille one, but I saw the one where he took Barack Obama.
Oh, really?
It's when Obama was still president, and you hear helicopters in the background. I think they just want to make sure everything's okay, and they just basically walk and they talk. They don't do anything crazy.
Right.
But yeah, I've seen one where he took Zac Efron, where he's taking Will Ferrell. The ones with Will Ferrell are funny.
The one with Will Ferrell is great.
Yeah.
Did he do anything? Did he climb anything?
Obama?
President Obama, yeah.
They didn't do anything too strenuous.
Oh, they didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Because he's a pretty fit guy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Other than I think he smokes cigarettes, but other than that,
he stopped though.
Did he stop?
He stopped. Yeah.
Bad imagery.
Yeah.
Bad form.
Yeah, and okay, so having the friend, you guys haven't seen Freaks and Geeks, but that show is about this girl named Lindsay who wants to stop. I don't get. I think Lindsay is my least favorite character by far. She just wants to start hanging out with these fucking potheads. It's about that. And they're all like, and so she kind of forsakes her other friends. And some of these other friends are like, dude, you've been friends with these girls your whole life, and they're nice. You're being a bitch because you want to you think it's cool to go smoke weed and drink with these kids you don't even know that well.
Right.
You know what I mean? But besides that, her friend Sugar and Spice, it's kind of nauseating how sweet and nice and polite she is. But her friend is her friend, and she's nice, and she's trying to be there for her. And I just didn't appreciate her fucking being a bitch.
I know, she was just
what I'm saying?
nasty.
She's definitely...
You guys have a friend like that who's like hopelessly there for you all the time, even when you don't deserve it?
You're trying to applaud yourself? Is that what you're trying to do?
No, I was thinking of someone else.
You knew though.
I
got
knew
it too.
Right away.
No, I honestly wasn't. No,
I believe Shane, but that's immediately what I thought.
I honestly wasn't. I was thinking of myself and someone else.
Exactly.
No, not
you were
me.
thinking of yourself.
No, it's not me for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Shane Hour.
No,
Today, we're going to applaud Shane.
I was thinking of myself. I was thinking of my situation. You know what I mean?
You're right.
I know.
Right.
No, you've been a good friend. There, I said it. You heard it. It's been recorded. It's done.
Until this last year, I pretty much had my life together in all aspects since I've been 18. So, no, I've never had a friend like that. I've been friends to people that keep fucking up over and over again. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I haven't.
Okay.
And I'm even questioning if I would, in the future, besides family, if I would be there for people like I have been in the past, because it's only cost me money, time, and feelings.
No, I can understand that.
Not worth it.
I can.
I'm not really in a position to be there for anybody because I can't drive. I have no license.
Well, yeah, but emotional support is the most important thing, right?
Well, I guess someone can call me, but no one ever calls me. So, so what does that tell you?
Well, people
that
have
guy.
called you before. I've called you before.
Usually it's business related.
Well, now, this time in their life, but growing up. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, like, I had a friend in high school. I think Jeremy was kind of hopelessly optimistic. You know what I mean? To naivety. But it was very sweet. And it kind of made me think of him a little bit. You know, I had some people that kind of remind me of Sugar and Spice. And they're great to have in your corner.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it just, you know, I've unlike Chloe, not to my knowledge, outright shit on them and say, well, fuck you, we're not really friends, you know?
Right.
So it just, you know, just turned me off big time.
Chloe's kind of the worst of the worst, honestly. Honestly, she's just...
She has some issues to overcome.
Yeah, she
For
does.
sure, and I'm sure she will, and it'll be cool, but it's testing me. Testing my patience.
It ought to.
Yeah.
It ought to fucking test you. That's...
Oh, yeah, that's what makes it a good story. You're right.
Well, the entire idea, she's like, well, you're better than this. She's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm like stuck in that. And
Yeah. And I just like, you know, I don't want her to rise out of that.
it's like, well, then you're not. Goddamn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it seems to be that Sheldon is the one who kind of left home because his brother went to pick him up and everything else.
How the hell do you know
That
he was
happened in the
there?
last episode. He fucking ran off.
I guess to me,
Oh, yeah, he ran off. But how did they know where he was?
Well, I guess he called.
I just think he just called from a phone in there or something.
And
I didn't know they could really
maybe
trace
his
it.
brother ran into the little girl in the neighborhood or in the
Well,
town
maybe it
and
didn't
said,
show, but maybe he called his brother from the farmhouse.
Okay.
So, if the old man had a phone.
Yeah.
Something tells me he didn't have a phone.
I wouldn't.
I just think
He had a windmill. He had a phone. Right. Have you ever met
You can
someone?
afford one of these. You can afford
I've
one
never
of these.
met someone with a windmill who didn't have a phone.
I've never met anybody with a fucking windmill.
Me either. No.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I got. Cool episode. I'm still much more captivated by the past. That'll probably be that way. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it was okay.
Nah, I got nothing else. Thanks everyone for tuning back in or for tuning in the first place. If you like what we do, like and subscribe. Find us on Instagram and Twitter, and if you don't, you won't.
That was nowhere close to 20 seconds.
It's about 8.
I don't know, that's the point. I'm going to set a new record here, so now we can just bullshit and cut us
just
off
chill
mid
out.
conversation, and
That's fine.
they won't like it, and we won't like it.